Hi all, thank you for checking out Lunarticks Tarot's 4th lunar pool. We are doing a short reading designed to help illuminate what the moon in Libra has to offer us at this time, October 7th through October 10th. And this reading is for any and all signs. The first card out is the Two of Swords. Then we have the Ace of Wands. And one more card on advice for how to handle this energy. It looks like we have a significant decision to make during this time, or we are feeling completely capable of defending ourselves, feeling armed but at peace, not looking for a fight but ready for one if it were to come. Or we have a significant decision to make that needs to be made. It looks like that's the energy that we're stepping into as the moon moves into Libra. And then that moon is offering us this Ace of Wands, this creative inspiration, maybe spiritual inspiration, maybe a birth for some. And the advice is the Hierophant in reverse. The advice is that we're not going to want to handle this in a traditional way, maybe in the way we normally would. The bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. It can be that fire energy is very significant at this time, and maybe there's a significant Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries in your life, or maybe that's your own energy. It can be that perhaps where your Mars is and what Mars is doing at this time is particularly significant for a lot of us. The Emperor wanting to show as well. For many, we're talking about a fire sign, divine masculine in your life. For many of us, we're talking about our divine masculine side, our own divine masculine half. So the moon moves into Libra just after 9 p.m. tonight. I'm recording this a little bit earlier, but that's about when I'll have it posted, actually. Just after 9 p.m. New York time, that is. That's where the moon will be for the new moon on the 9th, I believe. And then it will move into Scorpio just after midnight on the 10th. Again, that's New York time. And so those times aren't exact. Obviously, I think I'd rather not box these lunar pools in with a tight schedule, as different individuals may experience these energies that we're talking about at slightly different times. But I'll let you see this significant decision and then this Ace of Wands. As I said, it could be a birth, but it's certainly a creative inspiration, the potential for something to be birthed. And the Ace of Wands, as all of the aces is a seed. It needs to be watered. So this could be a burst of inspiration, an idea, creative inspiration, spiritual inspiration, something of that nature, but it would have to be nurtured, watered in some way, to be followed through on, to become more than that, right? So it's something you can choose to expand on or not. And that may be what the decision is. That may be what the significant decision is that you have at this time. Some of us. About whether or not to take this opportunity to water this seed. Is it something we're ready to commit to? Is it something that that we feel passionately about, enough about to expand on? So let's get clarifiers on all of these cards as well. The Seven of Pentacles shows up as a clarifier on the Two of Swords. The Two of Wands also wanted to show for us in between recordings there. I'm sorry I had to stop for just a minute. Suggesting that, you know, there's great, powerful potential and success on the other side of this significant decision or this period of time where we feel peacefully armed during the Libra, during the time that the moon is in Libra. And probably specifically around that new moon. And I hope to do some more readings, or at least hopefully a few, but at least one other reading for that new moon in Libra. I was thinking about maybe a pick a card reading. I'm not sure yet. Choose a reading. Let's get a clarifier on this Ace of Wands as well. The moon. For some of us, with the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck, that is the energy that I see us stepping into in Scorpio's, or I'm sorry, not Scorpio season, but when the moon moves into Scorpio. That King of Wands energy will be the energy we're stepping into. For some of us, it's a matter of having a creative, inspirational idea during these few days that we're focusing on turning into some type of a business, maybe in the, you know, by the time the moon moves into Scorpio, and just later this week, because there's a decision to be made about that, about whether or not we're going in that direction. And it looks like for a lot of us we are, because the King of Wands is also my entrepreneur card, you know, and very, like any of the fire signs, very bold and fearless and passionate, and it looks like with the Knight of Swords underneath, the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords, also very determined, and with some very fierce ideas about this project. And I think it's an expression from our hearts for many of us as well at the same time. But the key is, again, the advice is that we're not going to approach this in a traditional way. We do feel inspired. It's a project we're very passionate about, whether it's particularly creative or not, but for many it is. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles is showing up in the reverse as the clarification card on the advice card. So I think what may be untraditional here soon for us is that we're going to move too quickly in some people's eyes. But that is our advice. Our advice is not to take a traditional approach, and that may mean that we're going to move faster than some other people would advise us. It may seem like we are handling our business or this decision or this project that we're passionate about, or all the above, incorrectly to other energies around us. But we've got this bold, fearless energy coming in as the moon moves into Scorpio here in a few days after this new moon. And whatever we're starting, it looks like we want to start quickly. We don't want to move slowly and steadily. What is non-traditional about our approach may be how quickly we're moving. And the advice is that you may need to do things your own way. You have a significant decision to make. Success isn't exactly looking the way we expected it to look, right? But we do see the truth. Not everything is clear about this new inspiration. Right. So, concerning that inspiration, that creative idea, birth of a creative project or passion, there's definitely passion here in this decision, but concerning that burst of inspiration, not everything is clear. There are some unknown influences, motivations. I'm not sure I'm talking about just our own, but what is clear is that if we choose to water that seed, we could address some security concerns of our own, probably material, financial security concerns, but there is this decision, and it has to do with something that we love, something that we love to do, or someone that we love, or a work, a creation, an inspiration that we are very passionate about. And I think that if we choose to water that seed and bring that project, that passion to fruition, bring this creation forth into the world, in order to manifest it in a way that can address our concerns of security, again, I think we have to come at it from a very masculine point of view. And it may be a project of ours that's been in the works for a while, and during these few days we are focused on the creative and inspiration aspects of the project, inspirational aspects, creative aspects, the parts of the project that we are very passionate about, reevaluating why we are very, very passionate about it and why we are very committed to it. And then moving into, when the moon moves into Scorpio, it'll be time to refocus on the business aspects, the entrepreneur aspects, and I think it's going to require coming out of our shell. I think it's going to require using our ability to charm, to socialize, to be very sociable, to relate to people, to communicate and network to the best of our ability, make this significant decision and then move forward, confidently in whatever direction we decide to go with whichever decision we choose. Share that idea, communicate that idea clearly, with whomever needs to be involved in the project. And it may not be a collaborative project, so it may mean wearing many hats ourselves, deciding which idea is best, and maybe having to use our resourcefulness and figuring out how to implement these ideas if it's just us working on this project alone, if it's not a collaboration. The Three of Pentacles came up in reverse there. And that may mean, if it's not a collaboration, that may mean that there are some parts of this work that you would rather not do. that aren't your cup of tea, that aren't our favorite part of a project, but that have to be done. And I see that coming up as the month progresses, not necessarily right here in these few days. These few days are about that burst of creative inspiration and making this decision that again is going to affect our material security related to this passion project we seem to have going on. And we're called to come out of our shell and network and communicate soon regarding this work. So we will leave it at that. That is for the collective. We are now more than 12 hours past when that moon actually moved into Libra. So this is really late now getting posted, but it is for the collective, for any and all signs, and it is to cover the time through the 10th, as I said, when the moon then moves into Scorpio just after midnight on the 10th, New York time again. So it's a little bit behind, but it's to cover those few days. And I do hope to post a reading or so for the new moon itself. We'll see how that goes time-wise. Thank you so much for checking out the reading. And if you are interested in a personal reading, just scroll down to the description of the video and check out the options there. And I will post another lunar pull for us as soon as I can.